given the people up here a lot of material over the years, so I'll get up there. We'll see how we go. Firstly, thank you very much for everyone coming, especially on a Friday. I realise it's never easy getting out of work, so thank you to Lockie Rogers and everyone else. We obviously, and a big effort to everyone that's travelled around Australia. I think by my count we've got everyone from each state or territory bar Tasmania, so thanks to everyone that's made a big amount of travel. And we've got Charlie from Canada, we've got the Edwards from New Zealand, and the Burks from the UK, so thanks very much. Thanks very much, big effort. I even saw Sinclair Bell somewhere here tonight, who I'm not 100% sure I invited. Thanks for making the effort anyway. Invited or not. Secondly, to Berkey, thanks for being MC tonight. I think you've done a great job. I realise it's not always the easiest gig, especially when you have two young boys and you have to travel all the way from the UK. It's been really great to see both you and Steph. I always knew you were going to get the crowd on side though, because I've never met someone more convincing than Berkey. He's the only man that I've known to convince the exam marker to enter back into an HSC exam well after pen's down and everyone else had left. And I also had the pleasure of travelling to New York City with MB, where we seemed to skip every line of the most trendiest bars once MB had worked his magic on the bouncers. I was a little bit nervous for tonight, however, knowing that his main tactic isn't to use wit or charm, but his love of an awkward silence. But I think he's done a great job, so thanks very much. To my parents, mum and dad, I'm so proud of them both. It's obviously really hard not having mum here, because I know more than anything how much she would have really enjoyed tonight. But it's comforting to know I've got probably three of my most defining features from mum. One is my underdeveloped quad muscles. Two is my ability to be interested in and watch nearly every kind of sport. And three are my underdeveloped hamstrings. Mum was such a champion and one of the most selfless people I've ever met, shown by the way she brought up my disabled older sister Rebecca and the rest of us while achieving so much more. And I know Mum was really excited for me to marry Alice, so much so that I remember when I was still back at uni, so 5 years or 6 years ago, and I got a call from Mum where the purpose of the call was purely to let me know that I should hurry up and propose to Alice, or otherwise she was going to find someone better. Thanks, Mum. But it was telling how much of a fan Mum was of Alice, and I know she was looking forward to having both Alice and Ace as daughter-in-laws. To Dad, thank you for teaching me basically everything I know, and a lot better than Hamish. Like I know the inventor of the first steel ship is Isabel King de Brunel. I know when catching a plane you have to get there at least 4 hours early. I'm still trying to teach Alice this today. Another life lesson I vividly remember Dad telling me when I was about 5 or 6 years of age, but it really stuck with me. And it was that I should never sleep with clothes on when sharing a bed with a woman that I love. I was naked the first time I ever shared a bed with Alice, and I don't see ever putting clothes back on. So Dad, thank you very much for all that you've done for us and for your help in putting on today. You've set an awesome example to Hamish and I in what a dad should be. To Hamish, I wish I'd kind of made this a little bit harsher. It's a bit too nice. You've really been like a brother to me. But seriously, you are my best friend. You and Ace are such amazing parents to Evie, and to see you three so happy makes Alice and I really happy. We've really missed you guys since you've moved to Darwin, but FaceTiming you and seeing Evie grow is always such a highlight. It was only the other day that Hamish FaceTimed me to tell us a story that Ace had just called the police to report that they'd been burgled because someone had stolen all the washing off the line. And this is 100% true. The police arrived to crack the case to discover that Hamish, somewhat out of character, had in fact put away in cold water. So Alice, I can promise you that I will do the folding regularly enough that when I do it, you will not call the police. To Luce and the boys. Luce, I know growing up with two older brothers wasn't always the easiest in a sports-dominated household, but I feel like it was such good training in bringing up Hugo and Oscar because you're the best mum. It was such great fun at Christmas with you, Matt, and the two boys. This December just gone, even if the boys would prefer playing with Auntie Alice more than anyone else, but who can blame them? And I look forward to many more happy times with the McCanns. We really love you guys. To the Edwards, you really are the closest thing that Badley children have to a second family. So thank you for all your support over the years. Just a word of warning to everyone here, never go cycling with the Edwards, especially when they tell you it's downhill all the way, both up and back. And Rob's, we're really looking forward to the arrival of baby Edwards in April. Living in a different state to my parents since I was 12 years old hasn't always been the easiest thing, but I feel like I have such a good friendship group that has really helped and I value immensely. From boarding school at King's, then on to college at uni, I've been incredibly lucky to form such strong lifelong friends. And I was trying to think of a quick story that would sum up my mates, and I think this one does the job pretty well. So contrary to what Hamish was telling you, just forget all that, because of my athletic prowess, I managed to make the first basketball team back at school. Everyone who made the first received a big, shiny championship basketball ring. We didn't actually win anything, but you received it just for making the team. Now, instead of my mates applauding my achievement, they seemed to relentlessly mock the fact that I had this ring and would go for weeks of teasing, some would call it bullying. I decided to put an end to this by flushing my basketball ring down the toilet. There were many in this room tonight that were there to witness this action. And a few days went by and I was feeling kind of comfortable that I'd heard the last of the basketball ring until the Philly boys came bursting into my study. And this is where I see, in shock, somehow Sinclair Bell's pinky finger is wearing the basketball ring. The boys still like to talk about the look on my face. Moral of the story is, my friends will go to extreme lengths for each other. Even if it means fashioning a coat hanger into a hook, somehow fishing a basketball ring out the drains of the toilet, just so they can keep teasing me for a little while longer. This is also another reason why I think it's very possible that Sinclair Bell wasn't invited tonight. To the Winter Irvings, I really couldn't ask to be joining a better family. Owner, a massive thank you for all your help in putting on today. You've always been so welcoming and supportive, always wanting the best for us. Thanks for everything you've done and continue to do. The Winter Irving family trip to Whistler will always be a highlight, and I have to say, Owens, it's really cool when your mother-in-law is a better skier than most of your friends. And thanks for skiing with me in Whistler and pretending not to be embarrassed as I pizza down the green runs. Jono. I was fortunate enough to meet Alice's dad a handful of times, which I'm really grateful for. I can remember one of his mates describing Jono as not only interesting, but interested, and this was 100% true. He was always extremely genuine and would have made such a good father-in-law and grandfather to the Winter Irving clan. However, this didn't stop me from being slightly nervous when visiting the Winter Irving farm outside of Armidale for the first time. For some reason, I was secretly terrified that my inability to drive a manual car was going to be exposed. What I hadn't accounted for was my gate opening skills were going to be exposed instead. I remember after about the fourth or fifth gate that I was struggling to open, and it seemed to get worse as I take longer and shake, that Jono, in the gentlest way possible, took me aside and showed in a special gate opening tutorial that I had to put the ring on an angle to get it open. I know Alice misses him every day, and we would give anything to have both Jono and Mum here tonight. To Alice's sisters, Ceci and Els, I literally couldn't ask for two better sister-in-laws, and I have to say it's so nice to watch how strong a bond you three sisters have. Ceci and Murray, I can't wait for the mini occasion together watching the Geelong Cats beat the Sydney Swans. I'm not so much looking forward to when it's the other way around, although very unlikely. To Els and Huey, it's been awesome having you guys move to Manly last year, and we can't wait for the arrival of baby Basil in May. I also really wanted to tell Sonny Bill Williams' story, but it's been told too many times before, but if you haven't heard of it, come and see me after. Also a quick shout out to Goons, Alice's cousin, who's more like a brother. We're really looking forward to your and ours wedding in December. Finally, last but not least, to my wife, Alice Winter Irving. I love you so much. I am so proud to be your husband. In the annual Wesley College Journal, Alice was voted, this is for real, most marriageable 2 years running. So I feel like I've won. It doesn't say much for Alice that I was voted most likely to skip formal dinner and get a kebab. There is so much I love and admire about you, Alice. I admire your unbelievable work ethic, working late nights and weekends but never letting it get in the way of you enjoying a good time with your friends and family. I love your constant smile. I love how you're always up for an activity or adventure. I love your skills in the SMH quiz. I love how for the past 10 years we haven't walked past a single dog without you pointing it out to me, even the really ugly ones. I never imagined my wife would be so hot. We've had so much fun over the last 10 years, and I can't wait for it to continue as we grow old together. I'm so thankful I decided to return your Harry Potter book, even though I've now discovered I wasn't really what Alice was looking for at the time. Alice has revealed to me over the last 10 years, in little tidbits, that her ideal man would actually be some sort of professional skier, preferably with a ponytail. It was only the other day, and this is true, she had a dream that I'd grown a ponytail for the wedding, only to wake up and be genuinely disappointed. However, her love for skiing is slowly brushing off on me, so there's still plenty of time for me to grow a ponytail. After 10 years, I've also started to brush off a little on Alice as well. As you've heard, I can be a little bit competitive at times. And this was just a random Wednesday night, a bit past midnight, because we're both night owls and Alice works hard. And Alice and I just hopped into bed. Somehow, as we turned off the lights, the discussion turned to who was the better runner. I wasn't in my best shape, something a bit like today in this. So I conceded that Alice would probably have me over anything that was over 10 Ks. However, anything under 10 Ks, I thought I would have a measure. This is where Alice strongly disagreed with me. However, instead of us both rolling over to sleep, we decided the only way it could be settled was to turn the light back on, get out of bed, change into our running gear and head down to the Manly Beach front at a bit past midnight during winter. The 1K race was set. I can remember Alice decided to do a 2-minute warm-up jog, but I knew I needed to conserve all my energy. I couldn't be wasting it on warm-ups. I had 3 puffs of my Ventolin puffer and I was ready to race. I can honestly say I don't think either of us have ever run so hard in our lives. After the race, my lungs went into some kind of shock, some sort of coughing fit that seemed to last a couple of days. And Alice had to sit down on the way home for fear of fainting. It is these kind of weird and funny experiences, Alice, that we seem to have a lot of. And I'm so looking forward to playing out many more with you as we grow older. I can't wait for what the future holds, and I couldn't be more excited to get to do it with you. So, can everyone be upstanding? Cheers, good night.
We're now going to take 5 or 10 minutes and come back and get Brooks and Alice up to cut the cake and do their first dance.